Hello everyone, this is Korath Landwalker, and today it's Expo Day in Star Citizen. And as you can see, I've already indulged a bit with my Expo hat and Expo t-shirt. The jacket's from Invictus, so that was a ways back. Check back in again at 6 months to work on getting your own jacket, hopefully. In any event, we are indulging in the annual Intergalactic Aerospace Expo for the year 2951, as the game sets it. And that means every day a new manufacturer will go on the expo floor and show off their ships. And you can rent them and fly them, well, depending on the ship, maybe, for free. You only need an account. Don't have to buy any ships at all. There's a free fly going on all the way to the end of the month. And if you don't have an account, you can always create one. You can use this handy dandy link, which will also use my referral code, which will, if you do end up pledging, entitle you to a lifetime insured Argo cargo, which isn't much, but hey, it's something. Not to mention some extra UEC, the credits, in-game money. We are currently at New Babbage, a city on the world of microtech. And this is where they're going to be... Oh, this is where the expo is this year. It was also here last year, which is... As you may have guessed, if you're not familiar, Star Citizen might have a bug or two. Or a dozen. So, we're currently in the Nest Apartments, the habitation unit at New Babbage. We're in basically the really big building with the kind of the hollow section inside of it. It's probably one of the biggest landmarks in the city aside from the actual spaceport. Sadly, I do not think I have a view on the expo, the Tobin Expo Hall, which is where the expo is happening. Okay, well, you know what? It might be time to risk jumping into the abyss. Or maybe I'll watch this guy do it instead. How brave is he? In the meantime, maybe I should put on gear that maybe I can afford to lose if I end up accidentally getting killed here. Okay, maybe I gotta do the right click equip thing. I just want to, oh, swap, here we go. Yeah. I was hoping to go Expo, but if I have to risk my life in an elevator, that could well kill me. This really isn't a good sign. I think maybe the next move I'm going to do is go into a different server. Rescue beacon. 10 to 1 is this. Oh, look! It spawned in! Oops. Well, that worked out pretty well, didn't it? Elevator didn't load in. We got a couple of folks in the chat talking about it. To go to the expo hall, you just have to follow the signs. There are signs here. There are signs at the spaceport. It will be very hard. Not impossible, but very hard. Yeah, more bugs. It'll be very hard for you not to find your way. See, we got even the elevator here. Oh, not the elevator, the sign here. now that we're here.
Careful, doors are now closed.
We'll put on the hat. We'll put on the shirt. And we'll put on the jacket. Because I'm a tourist, darn it. That's message. Next stop, Tobin Center. There we go. Now, this is the second day of the Expo, so there are 2 starship manufacturers displaying their wares today, and we are going to be flying a couple of them. Well, kind of. It's complicated. I'll go more into that as we explore the exhibit hall. And you can see they've got the Expo logo all over the place. Now, in addition to being able to rent all these things, I also feel compelled to mention you can also pledge real money for the ships, for the ones that are either in concept or really, really new in-game. Most of the ships you can just buy in-game, though, with in-game credits, so you don't have to be compelled to feel that you have to pledge. But you do have to pledge for at least a minimum of $45 for a starter ship. And look.
Hello and welcome to the 2951 Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. This special audio presentation will be your guide to the ins and outs of the various halls and provide unique insight about the vehicles and manufacturers on display. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoy your time with us here at this year's IAE.
Yep, we got all these catchy displays with the vocals on them. And this is basically the shopping tour area. This is where I bought my shirt and hat. You can also buy manufacturer-specific gear. If you like Crusader Industries, show your loyalty. Buy their shirts and hats. If you like Misk, you can do the same. If you like Drake, what the hell is wrong with you? Sorry, that's my usual personal prejudice talking. I have a long-standing history with dissing Drake. And that's not likely to change any day in the near future. There are no special jackets, incidentally, so no bomber jackets with the Expo logo on it. And the other side, we've got other manufacturers too, so their clothing, you can wear them, just like I'm wearing mine right now. So we're going to take the elevator here, and the nice thing about the elevator is it will show you the schedule of events. And let's clear the chat out so we can see everything clearly here. Yesterday and today in Zenith is Anvil Aerospace. Today, tomorrow in Apex is Roberts Space Industries, RSI. Tomorrow, Aegis Dynamics gets its turn in Zenith, replacing Anvil. The day after, a number of alien ship manufacturers, some of which are replicas and some of which are less so. The day after that in Zenith, we have the Crusader Industries and Tumbrel Land Systems, which ought to be an entertaining day. Aegis and Crusader are the big ones this year because Aegis is introducing the Redeemer gunship, and Crusader is introducing their Ares Starfighters, which are designed to blow up big ships. So those are the ones to really watch. 24th and 25th, Origin with its series of luxury starships, which will also include the relatively recently released 400i. Following that in Zenith, we have the combination of Argo with the Argo Cargo, not to mention the Mole, which is a big mining vessel, Consolidated Outland, Grey Cat Industrial, and Kruger Intergalactic. Finally, on the 26th, well, you can skip the 26th. Okay, seriously, the 26th is Drake Interplanetary, so, as usual, just Ignore them. I'm bad. Finally, on the 28th, we have MISC, the Musashi Industrial Starflight Concern. After that, on the 28th through December 1st, we have the Best in Show displays, and at that point, every ship will be rentable through a terminal instead of in the hall. So if you miss one of these days, one of the early days, and you don't get to see something, say, from RSI or Aegis or what have you, don't worry. Come the 28th, you can rent any ship in the game at the terminals in Apex. So we're going to start in Zenith because we're going to look at the Anvil Aerospace display. Incidentally, you will notice in the upper right hand corner of the screen that I have a currently flying tab. So hopefully as I fly some of the ships around here, you can actually tell what I'm flying just coming in and seeing what's up there. I usually don't have that. I only do that during special events like the Expo and the Invictus that shows up in the spring. So we are going to take a walk on the wild side. But first, let's see what this sign has to say.
While it may be commonplace to sail through the stars, we should never lose sight of the wonders of spaceflight. From discovering new jump points, unearthing lost ruins, or setting new speed records. Famed artist Arudo Divani created this unique portrait series as a tribute to the diverse array of people who eagerly climb aboard their ships and dare to fly.
Well, you gotta admit, that's a pretty catchy logo. And the display they're talking about is this holo display, which is basically centering on the folks coming in, so we're just getting their backs and reading backwards. So let's go up the stairs, because we're civilized and we're not going to walk in the median. And we'll hear about Anvil Aerospace.
Anvil Aerospace may have made a name for itself along the front lines with its masterfully built fleet of military craft, but more and more of the company's civilian craft have captured the imagination of the Empire. Look no further than the Anvil Carrick to see a ship that has transitioned easily from its naval origins to the very edges of space as pilots use the ship to chart new territory.
Now, fortunately, it's easy to get lost in here, but they have a map which will tell us what's on display here. And it looks like everything's primarily on the right-hand side of the hall and in the center, so we'll be going that way. Also, if you get thirsty or hungry, they have these wonderful little kiosks and coffee to go.
Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
Oh yes, I'd like some coffee, please. Except you can't. You know why? Because they don't have coffee. I mean, seriously, they've got tea. They've got energy drinks. They've got water. They've got fruits and vegetables and burritos, because, you know, gotta have burritos. But you know what they don't have? Coffee! I will not stop ranting about this until coffee makes it in the game. You cannot have a coffee to go if there's no coffee. Okay, I'm calm now. I'm better now. So, what do we have in the center hall? Well, on the borders here, you'll notice that we have Armament Galleries, which will show you a bunch of ship guns if you want to learn all the ways you can blow people into tiny bits. You can also purchase them here too, which is handy. On the other side is another armament display, and I think over at the back are components. We'll check those out as we go along. Up front, we have the Pisces, which is a shuttlecraft, and this is the Expedition variant. This one actually has a bit more armament than the standard Pisces, which comes with the Anvil Carrick. I'm trying to walk through the glass barrier for the stairs. Don't do that. Folks who've watched my stream before are probably familiar with the Carrick because I have flown it on any number of occasions. It is a nice all-around vessel, and it's big enough to have friends to come along and man turrets and wreak havoc as needed. over here, we have the Anvil Arrow, which is my personal favorite light fighter. There may be better light fighters, but it's always consistently within the top 3. Back here, I can't remember. Gladiator. I keep forgetting that the Gladiator exists. And this is theoretically a bomber ship, although it doesn't actually carry bombs yet. It's basically missiles and torpedoes. The only ship that actually does bombs right now was recently introduced into the game with the last patch, the Crusader A2 Hercules, which will be later this week. Which means I won't be able to show it on stream because I'm not streaming every day because I do a lot of stuff. Okay, up back here are the various components for ships like power cores, shields, coolers, all sorts of stuff like that. So that pretty much takes care of just about everything on the right-hand side of the Expo Hall. Well, of the central area of the Expo Hall. More components. Is there anything over here? Oh, right. The Hurricane. The Hurricane may very well be, if you have a partner, the best heavy fighter around right now. The turret is vicious, but the pilot can't use the turret. The turret has to be used by a gunner. You get that, well, it says here on their little display here, capable of blasting their way through nearly anything. They have yet to find an enemy shield they can't knock down. They're right. And we've already seen the Pisces on the other side here, so now we're going to go downstairs. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to go to the right-hand side of the Expo Hall. Downstairs will be last. The Expo Hall is pretty big. It's got to be able to handle some of the size of the ships that are displayed. But it's still big. Run, 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 run. Now, in this section of the hall, we're going to see a little bit more of their military hardware. And I want to call attention to this one on the right, because this is the one ship you cannot rent, because it's not technically in the game yet. This is the Anvil F8 Lightning. And while I'm hovering over it and it's giving me a 0 UEC rental thing, I can't actually interact with it. Oh, well, actually, I can climb into the cockpit, though. So we can get a taste of what this ship is going to offer. Panther repeaters, M6A cannons, lot M5A cannons. This thing is gunned up. I don't know how many missiles. I can't power it on. Let me rephrase that. I can't access any of the I can't power the MFDs on. More's the pity. But at least this gives me a chance to do the rotational view and take a look at it. The reason this ship is not in game yet is probably twofold. One, it's probably not, complete. But two is more important. You're supposed to only get access to fly this ship if you do the Squadron 42 campaign single-player mission game, which is still in development. And we have no idea when that's going to complete. My hope is that'll happen sometime before the turn of the century, but we really don't know. But by completing the campaign, you will gain access to this starship. Whether or not you have to pay credits for it or not, I don't know. But it's supposedly the top-line military fighter in the United Empire of Earth right now, and it looks it. I will say right now, the moment I get my hands, the moment I get the ability to lay hands on this thing, I will. it just looks like a dangerous starfighter. And the weapons I'm seeing listed there just confirms my feeling. Over here, we have a sadly... Actually, no, that's the one on the left. There's nothing sad about this guy. This is the Anvil Valkyrie, a dropship. And I love it to pieces. I don't actually have one. Because, you know, it's a dropship and it requires a lot of people. And odds are, 9 times out of 10, I'll be crew rather than, you know, flying one. But when I think of dropships in a military situation, this is what I think. It can disgorge your troops. It's got side guns that you can... Yeah, right up here, they've got handguns that you can cover fire. This is a dropship's dropship. Love it to pieces. And if I were the kind of person who had that many friends on at any given time, I would seriously consider pledging for it. Or, you know, buying it in-game. Now for the sad one. This is the Anvil Terrapin. And its purpose involves exploration. That gameplay does not yet exist, which means it is a sadly, virtually useless starship. I mean, let's see. Is it on the side here? Maybe it's the other side. I can never remember what side the door is on for this thing. Oh, it's right over here. This is not the pilot seat. This is a scanning chair. The pilot seat's up front. And you can't actually do anything with the scanning gear. That's why this ship is one of the 2, maybe 3 most useless ships currently in the game. This will not always be the case. The time will come when the Terrapin will have its day in glory. Just not yet. Okay. Over here, as we hang another right once we get past this corner, we will have another set of exhibits. And dominating this area is the Anvil's series of Hornets medium starfighters. And they have a lot of variants. They have stealth variants, tracking variants. They've got super variant, cargo variant. These are all pretty serviceable fighters, and they're very modular, which means you can pretty much replace parts with other parts and do pretty well with them. This is a special one. This is the Wildfire Variant, and it includes a big honking... oh man, I can't even remember the name of that gun. Revenant Ballistic Repeater. It's big. It does a lot of damage. It fires fast. And that's why you'll be out of ammo in probably 2 or 3 seconds of use. So this is basically dedicated to all the medium Hornet fighters that Anvil has available. And now we're going to go downstairs, because it's downstairs it has a couple of very interesting displays. Including a new concept, well, relatively new concept. We've known about it for a while, but this will at least have a display sort of deal with it, as well as a brand new vehicle. You see, despite the fact that Anvil is talking about Anvil Aerospace, there's a bit more to it than just the aerospace aspect. Let's see, was there a different thing here? Ah, here we go.
As the war against the land duel continues, many pilots find themselves seeking a way to protect their home and loved ones during these uncertain times. Anvil Aerospace has been a strong ally in this endeavor, creating civilian versions of their popular military craft, like the Hornet F7C, to protect you and the ones you care about.
Gotta love that military propaganda there. We actually don't see anything involving the war here. That's chronicled in the Squadron 42 thing, I believe. Now over here, we have the famous Anvil Ballista, the anti-aircraft platform. Lots of missiles capable of blowing up ships as they make approach. Useful for offense and defensive use. But it's the other side that's going to be interesting. Because you see on the other side here, we have something that looks very similar, but it's not. This is the Anvil Spartan. And let's see what they have to tell us about.
Despite the aerospace in its name, Anvil has hardly been limited to the skies. For example, the tough and rugged Atlas vehicle platform was developed to help conquer the unforgiving landscape found on moons and planets alike. Both the Ballista and the Spartan were both built from this design foundation, proving its adaptability.
What the Spartan is an armored personnel carrier. And we're going to be taking a good look at this later, so I'm just going to kind of briefly touch on it here. It's not a heavily... This vehicle is for transporting a group of people to a combat situation. Now finally we have the hollow tanks. And we're going to see a glimpse of the future. What we are seeing here is the design of the Anvil Liberator, which is basically an open-air vehicle carrier. He's got space for 2, maybe 3 light fighters. I can't remember what the numbers were. It was introduced in concept earlier this year. And, well, I'm not horribly impressed with the design. I mean, it's just not my thing. Not to mention that, you know, if I'm looking for a carrier, I want something a little bit more impressive. Sadly, the most impressive carrier in the game at the moment, well, not in the game technically, but in concept, is the Kraken. Sadly, however, it's also manufactured by Drake Interplanetary. And if I were to ever pick that up, I would never hear the end of it. So that is Anvil for today, and you'll note that I didn't actually click on to renting the Spartan. I did mention that the Anvil guys were up yesterday, so I logged in and already rented it, so it'll be available to me today. I figure save some time. All 5 seconds worth. Nice touch there. A little display of rotating star lines. Now, last year they had advertisements on these wall displays, usually involving the manufacturers. At least I thought they did. I could be misremembering. It's been a year. I'm lucky to remember what I did yesterday. Alright, it's time to go to Apex. Robert Space Industries, which opened up its hall today. Let's take a look at what it's going to be offering. Again, the same display thing that they had going on here. Okay, now see? This one has a commercial. Why doesn't Anvil have their own commercial?
They say that some things just don't go out of style. And the true classics.
Same Seal the Stars intro here, so nothing big. Go up the stairs again because, you know, we're polite, we're not savages. And let's see what they have to say about Robert Space Industries.
Some historians credit Robert Space Industries with the invention of modern spaceflight. For founder Chris Roberts, the prospect of making space
And yes,
travel more accessible
the founder's
was
name is not a coincidence.
dream. And when his company unveiled their prototype, Quantum Core Engine in 2075, suddenly space travel didn't seem that fantastical anymore.
Read that, we've got about roughly 24 years, guys, before we actually have space travel. Mark your calendars. let's take a look at the map and see what areas we have to work with. Again, we only have to worry about the right side and downstairs. So, let's start with the central hall. And the central hall is going to have a bunch of Constellation starships. Tell us more.
It's pretty amazing to think that RSI makes one of the smallest ships on the market and one of the biggest. It would take about 50 Auroras laid end to end to equal the length of one mighty Bengal carrier.
Now, just as an FYI, the Bengal carrier is not a pledge ship. You will never be pledging for the Bengal carrier. Don't even think about it.
Since its introduction in 2712, the RSI constellation has been reimagined countless times, proving itself as varied and long-lived as Robert Space Industries itself. It has been a cargo hauler, an explorer, a luxury liner, and more. When asked what's next for the constellation, RSI designer Deshandra Lewin said, "Whatever it is, we will always strive to balance innovation with the testing features that pilots have come to rely upon."
Kind of makes you wonder if they're thinking of doing another one. In any event, the one I'm interested in today, that we're going to be doing some flying in, I believe will be... Nope, not this one. So it's got to be one of the ones in the back. The Constellation Taurus. And I'm going to hit the rent button on that one. Now bring up your Mobi-Glass, you just say rent, and bang, you'll have it available at the vehicle retrieval terminals. It's the one variant that I haven't really flown much of, and it's a very different animal than the other Constellation series, for reasons that will become apparent when we start our flight for today. Okay, right-hand side hall it is. Do we have another entrance down that way? No, we don't. So it's straight here. Now, the Constellations are the most obviously visible versions. But RSI has a number of other starships that are equally, shall we say, recognizable. And we're going to start on this side where we see... Okay, we're dominated here by the Rsi Mantis, which is an interdiction ship. Theoretically, it can be used to yank people out of quantum travel and prevent people from going into quantum travel. It's best used with friends, though, and other ships who can take advantage of you doing so, and its ability to interdict has been called into question in the game. But we also have the ubiquitous Aurora series starships. The Aurora MR, in fact, which is one of these, will likely be one of your starter ship. It is one of the 2 cheapest packages in the game. You can buy it, and you can do a lot of stuff in it. You can do some really, really tiny cargo hauling, package deliveries, and bounty hunting, or possibly even less legal hunting. But they're all roughly the same design. They just have little bits of differences between them. Nothing major, nothing significant. But they are serviceable, and they will get... I've myself have done a series of streams where I took an Aurora and earned enough money to fly a medium-sized ship. Well, actually, in-game purchase a medium-sized ship. All of which should tell you that it is not impossible to fly any ship in the game with just the minimum purchase with real money. So if someone tells you you gotta spend lots of money to play this game or do well in this game, don't believe it. All the money does is give you a head start. You don't need the head start. Now let me just check something, because I could have sworn there was another section of hall up here, but I might be wrong. No, it was just the Auroras, huh? So let's go downstairs and see what we can see down here. Run, 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 run. I have to run. If I were to do walking speed on all this, we'd be here all day. which admittedly would not be a bad thing for the folks at RSI and the Tobin Center. Okay, we have nothing on this side, and I don't think we have anything on the other side. Oh, we do have something on the other side. And this is arguably the most well-rounded ground vehicle in the game right now. The RSI Ursa Rover. It fits in a lot of various types of ships. It's decently armed. It has enough space to handle some passengers in the back. I don't know if there's seats, but yes, we've got seating for 4 back here. And 2 up front, which includes the drivers. So it is a very, very useful sort of ground vehicle. But it's in here, the holotank displays, where things get interesting. Over here, I want to say that this is the Polaris, but let's find out for sure. Get these NPCs out of the way. Move it, move it, move it, move it. Why can these people push me and I can't push them? Oh, excuse me. This is the RSI Polaris, which is a Corvette ship. It can carry a small fighter on board it as well. It can also apparently do a repair, rearm, refuel as well, which makes sense if it's going to be a carrier. For a time, it was a limited hull, but now, if you want to pledge for it, you don't have to worry about playing the refresh game and hoping you get one of the small numbers. Next section is this one, the Perseus. This baby is a gunship, something along the lines of the Hammerhead, except it goes for larger ships rather than smaller ships. I mean, it can handle small ships, but let's face it. It says it right here. Shredding sub-capital class Goliaths. That means blows up Hammerheads, Carracks, maybe the Reclaimers. Probably the Hercules. You know, the big ships that are considered large size, this baby is designed to take out. At least if it's fully crewed. Finally, over here we have one of the newer concept ships from RSI, the Scorpius, or as I like to think of them, the Incom T65 X-Wing Starfighters. Okay, they're not X-Wing Starfighters. They look like X-Wing Starfighters. They've got the X-Wings. And these are heavy fighters, and it's designed for 2 people to fly, one handling the back turret and the pilot handling the rest. I have not pledged for it personally. I was tempted, but, you know, if I'm going to buy Starfighters, I tend to look at the ones that are single pilot. I can't rely on someone being there to take up the second turret. And I know enough people that have pledged for this that if I have a great desire, I will simply go in their turret. That said, I make no decisions, well, let me rephrase that. I make few decisions on new ships until I've had a chance to fly them. So, I did not pledge for the Ares, I did not pledge for the Redeemer, but I'll see what they're like when I fly them today, well, not today, but during this Expo, and I'll make decisions at that point. And even if I don't pledge for a ship, inside 6 months, the new ships will be available to buy in-game with in-game credits. And at that point, well, all things are possible. So now that we've taken a look at the Expo Hall and we've rented a couple vehicles, so we're going to put them, I'm not going to say we're going to put them to the test exactly because, you know, neither one are going to really be put into the situations that they were designed for. But I'm going to mess with them anyway. So we're going to go back to the Expo lobby and we're going to head to the NBIS, well, technically it's the New Babbage Interstellar Spaceport. I didn't want to say NBIS Spaceport because, you know, then you have the redundancy. Hey, these things happen. However, I'm going to have to take the long way because... There we go. Because I'll have to stop either through the Aspire Grand stop or the Commons stop in order to get to where I want to go. Oops, I stubbed a toe. I'm at 99% health. So I'm just going to basically just take whatever Maglev gets here first. 49 seconds for that one. 8 seconds for this one. Well, I know what one I'm going on board. Heading to the Aspire Grand. Yes, they are. Close the doors. And while we're here, I might as well prepare myself for travel. So we're going to ditch the hat. And we're going to be ditching basically everything. And we are going to put on an undersuit to prepare for space travel. And because I'm worried about bugs... Oh, yeah, I gotta take the shoes off first. I always forget that. I'm going to use the cheapo uniform and cheapo helmet, at least to start with. Later on down the stream, we'll be upgrading, shall we say. Come on, I just want to put this on my head. Is that asking a lot? There we go. You know what? I actually am going to put a core on my chest and a backpack on my back. Because there's every possibility that as I do stuff here, I might find loot boxes. And if I find loot boxes, I'm gonna want somewhere to put the stuff. Okay, there it is. See it? The big building there with the hollow in there? That's the Aspire Grand. That's what I was talking about earlier as far as being highly visible, highly unique. It is the landmark. And you can see on the left there the Expo logo in holographic terms. Maybe we'll do a flyby. And up ahead, NBIS. So, I've grabbed the cargo version of the constellation Taurus. So it makes sense that if we're going to grab the cargo version, the best way to demonstrate it is to grab some cargo. I know, sounds crazy, right? Let's hope the elevators here are being more kind than the ones at the Aspire Grand. Yay, it's an actual elevator. Of course, I'll still need to take an elevator to the hangar, but you win some, you lose some. Run through our customs checkpoints. None of which actually mean anything today, but the day will come when, you know, these things might become important. That day is not today. And over here to the right are the ASOP terminals. So you can see rented ships will show up with a timer associated with them. So RSI constant. Okay, this has the misfortune of being on the bottom, which means it doesn't really show you anything useful, but trust me, it's there. We will run a retrieval.
Ready to upgrade?
Hangar 10. Now the Taurus, I believe, is actually physically larger than a number of the other Constellation starships. At least I thought it was, because, you know, it sure looked roughly the same size in the exhibit hall. But maybe I'll have a better feel for it as I go to the ship itself. Now, unlike the other Constellation series, it does not have a snub fighter in the back. That is used for extra cargo. And since we're here, let me just take a quick adjustment here. And now, my nothing yet in the upper corner will now show exactly what I'm going to be flying. RSI, Constellation, Taurus. Now, just like the standard Constellations, it has the little elevator here to lift you up and in. And there's really nothing new under the sun here with the basic Constellation here. You've got the flight deck, bathroom, storage lockers, bunks. Back here is awfully dark. Let's go up front instead. Let's at least get everything powered on, and we'll start working our way out of Atmo. We can do the tour once we've hit a destination. I don't want to have the ship accidentally stored on me while we're still getting together here. Okay, we're going to click on the Interstellar Spaceport comm and open her up. Yeah, I don't know if it actually is larger, but I gotta tell you, it looks larger, it looks longer. It does carry the 4 pilot guns. I'm pretty sure there's 4 pilot guns. Yeah, there they are, right underneath. So, the Taurus is not a slouch if it comes to having to defend itself. And up we go. I'm going to put this not quite 90 degrees up. Kind of be exactly 90 degrees is probably a little rough. That's weird. Radar in the center has kind of like red ribbons. Banu Defender. Either somebody's got a hostile defender there or someone kind of left it out and didn't do anything with it. That's weird though, there's usually a line, thin line, but not a thick ribbon on the radar there. Maybe it's a visual bug? Don't know. Don't care. Hey, if they're not bothering me, I'm not gonna bother them. While we're working our way out of atmosphere, let's take a look at the various moons. And I'm kind of tempted to go to Calliope. We've got a number of mining facilities here, so I believe that going to this one we'll have some cargo that I can pick up. And hopefully it won't be a lot of cargo, because let's face it, I've got 30,000 UEC. During the last patch there was a wipe, and I have not yet regenerated the kind of finances I need to really go crazy with anything. I had did have a couple 100,000 a while back, and I bought a couple of quantum drives that would make my life easier for some larger ships. Now the downside though is because I don't have a huge amount of cash, that means I don't know if I'll be able to fill the rather prodigious cargo space on the Taurus. But I'm gonna try. Quantum travel's kind of a pain in the butt lately. Sometimes if it doesn't spool up and calibrate just right, you gotta break off alignment and realign. And pray, pray, pray. Yeah, they really did a job on the quantum travel lately. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to hit an orbital marker and go to that and pray that allows me to go to the actual location. This last patch has been pretty rough. And I'm having enough wonky things happening here that I'm beginning to think that maybe there's a server crashing coming. No, B-Win looks okay, but render is a shot to blazes. Oh, not that button. Okay, turn off the quantum drive. I can't seem to get my skyline up, which is my star map. We have a serious problem going on here. Is there anything on the chat talking about this? B15 is very playable. Yeah, I'm dubious. Oh, okay, something just caught up. Ah! What the hell? My hands are not on the controls. And now I still have no control here. There's something on the back end that's gone screwy here. Oh, this is awful. This is awful. I'm spinning around with no control. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Star Citizen. And the worst part is, the Expo patch came literally after, about a week after the 3.15 patch landed. And the 3.15 patch had a lot of issues like this going on with it. And we are hyping the Expo and the big sales and all that. This is not the impression you want to be leaving on people. Well, star map came up. Let me power off the engines. Okay, okay. Looks like if I pop the clutch, maybe things seem to have gotten a little bit better. Let's reset my course. Those of the religious persuasion are encouraged to pray at this time. Ugh. Break alignment, try again. You know, right we're going here. Okay, quantum's kicking in. Thank heavens. Other things still seem to be a little wonky. Okay, let's hope we can get to the mining facility without any problems. I'm going to try to arrange it so that the alignment does not occur before the spooling is done. Because I've noticed that 9 times out of 10 under normal circumstances, if the spooling is not done when the calibration is done, it doesn't like to jump. Don't know why that is. But the good news is we are now heading to the facility, which means we will be able to land and theoretically do a purchase of cargo. Hopefully the cargo will be something I can mostly fill up. Oh, good. We're going to be on the light side, too, which is great. I'm extremely happy about that. Now I'm going to rotate so we're facing right side up, because, you know, landing upside down is generally not considered conducive to beneficial space flight. Also, turn off the quantum drive, but I will go and reset the route so I have a marker, so I know where I'm going. I am currently moving at a leisurely 141 meters per second. Hey, McCooey! How are you doing? And I really hope I'm pronouncing your name right, because I feel like I'm screwing it up every time. I'm just kind of making assumptions. Hope things are going well on your end of the monitor today. We are flying the RSI constellation Taurus, which is the one constellation I've never really flown. And we're going to try to do a short cargo run, even though I don't have any McCooey. How about that? I got it right? Oh, thank heavens. All this time, I wasn't 100% sure. I did catch one of your streams last week, so you know, I just couldn't have you on because I was kind of on the job working at the time. They tend to take it very badly if I'm doing stuff that doesn't involve work on my work hours. So we're going to come in for a landing here. Sad thing about doing the star map marker is that it doesn't give me a distance. So many people mess it up, but I'm among the elite few. Thank you. All I can say is I'd seen some words that were similar to that, and I remembered that was the general pronunciation, but I wasn't 100% certain. Okay, I see lights in the distance. Actually, I'm exaggerating there because that's not really distant anymore, is it? Okay, we're going to go for the large landing pad because I'm not 100% certain if this will fit on the medium landing pad. Besides, there can't be that many. I take it back. There is someone else looking to do cargo here. Who would have thunk it? Because I'm getting somebody's radar profile. Oh, you know what? I got here first. Well, you know what? Let's target the guy. He's flying a Carrack. You know what? Okay, if he's flying a Carrack, then I'm not going to get in the way of a Carrack. Okay, let's see. Where's the landing pad here? I'll just make do. Carrack is bigger than this ship, I'm pretty sure, so... let's get my arrangement here. Landing gear is down. Leveling off. Proximity warning, but I think I am on the pad. I think if I scoot up a little more. Yeah, see, that Carrack is a lot bigger than I am, so... And he's probably going to go after expensive cargo because I'm sure he can afford it. But me, with my less than 30,000 credits, I'm going to be going for the cheap garbage. I'm not too worried about having no cargo available. Of course, it's also handy because I'm pretty sure that I'm going to disembark faster than he will. I am very familiar with the general... Of course, he's also closer to the exit than I am. Well, not the exit, the storage facility. Did the new update get pushed to live? Yes. We've got the Expo going on. That's how come I can fly the Taurus right now. We're on day 2 of the Expo. The 400i is available. The A2 Hercules is available. Medical gameplay. What's the other big one? Oh yeah, the physicalized inventory. That's all in. In fact, if things are going really well, maybe I'll even be able to show one of the aspects of physicalized inventory. Here's a loot box. I can actually open that up and take stuff out of it and put it on my gear. So I'm going to grab the guns because you can never have too many guns. I'm going to put the clips in my backpack. I'm going to try to put the stuff in my backpack. Inventory seems to be a little sluggish right now. Okay, fine, we'll put that in my corp. Seriously. Seriously. You know what? Fine, forget it. I can buy ammo anywhere. You can take the ammo. I don't need it. What I need is cargo. 174 standard cargo units. And we are going to grab the cheap junk. Iodine. Because I want to have a full cargo bay. And I can... Okay, maybe I'll go a little more expensive than iodine. Hydrogen. No, chlorine. Yeah, chlorine. Because everybody has swimming pools. And there's various kinds of loot boxes. If you know what to look for, this one probably doesn't. Oh, how about that? The guy didn't do anything with this one. So I'm going to grab knife and things seem to be really sluggish today with the inventory system. Oh, EMOD stabilizer. Gotta have that. Of course, if nothing actually goes in my freaking inventory, it's not really going to help, is it? Okay, finally. Handgun, we'll put that in my core armor. We're going to try to put it in the core armor. I am beginning to suspect that this particular server is not a happy server. I don't know what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, Star Citizen. More bugs than a Starship Troopers movie. I wouldn't keep saying that if it didn't keep happening. Okay, you know what? Fine. I'm here for the cargo. The loot boxes were a bonus, but you know what? Heck with it. Oh, and it sounds like the Carrack is heading off, probably because he's having as much trouble with the loot boxes as I am. Yep, there he goes, heading off. I'm guessing he's just making the touring rounds of trying to see what he can get out of the loot boxes, because you can arm yourself pretty well just off of loot boxes. I've spent very little credits on weaponry. I've basically done some delivery missions and grabbed any loot boxes I found and grabbed guns and ammo from them. I even found an undersuit or two and a couple helmets. Oops, too much of a jump. My suspicion is that this server is in bad health. And it would not surprise me if a server crash is going to happen somewhere along the line during the stream. Like we've never seen that happen before. So now that we have a full cargo bay, we're going to take it and deliver it to... Well, actually, no. You know what? Before I do anything, I did promise the tour. Taurus does have at least one turret down below and one turret up top. We have a table that, much like all the other Constellation series, doesn't actually work. Someday. 4 bunks, 2 on each side. The cargo bay is... Okay, you know what? This would be a lot more impressive if the cargo boxes it actually rendered in. But you can see that it's a longer cargo bay than the standard Constellation, which is like half the size. So we are definitely longer. Got the missile racks here. It is very definitely longer than the other Constellation series starships. And if you go all the way to the back here, got some, I guess these are component bays maybe. Oh, well, at least it rendered cargo at least into the back area. Supposedly, the back area is a shielded cargo area, so if you were, say, running some less than legal cargo, this would be where you would want to put it. At least that's the impression I got. I don't know if that's actually true. I know that the game is not currently supporting the shielded cargo, but I believe that is the intent. May all my guesses be right. It's probably in the same boat as the Mercury smuggling compartments. Alright, time to take off, and we're going to head right back to New Babbage, and we're going to deliver this cargo. Once we've done that, then it's going to be time to try out certain ground vehicles. But we won't be doing it in Microtech. So let's see if the map will actually cooperate with me. New Babbage. And it didn't take, did it? No, why would it do that? Okay, so step 1, find an orbital marker. Hello, orbital marker. Step 2, hit the next orbital marker, because apparently I am on the exact wrong side of the moon. Step 3, I can finally zap over to Microtech proper. For those unfamiliar with the lore of Star Citizen, Microtech is a mega corporation. They're the ones who developed the Moby Glass, in fact. Very big in the electronics biz. And they're wealthy enough to have purchased an entire planet. Hence the planet Microtech. In fact, all the planets in the Stanton star system are owned by mega corporations. Must be nice to have that kind of money. Let's hold off. I want to spool up before I get the calibration there. I've had enough troubles with the quantum... Ah! Ah, what happened? My engines are going wonky on me. I didn't think I broke anything. Engines look okay. Now, hopefully we're going to end up in the light side of the planet because, you know, there's something that's worth seeing here. Well, it's getting dark. But yeah, yeah, we can see them. Awesome. Stop the quantum. And we're going to turn ourselves around a little bit so I can have a better view. It's really hard to see. But they've put in the cloud tech on Microtech here. Yeah, you can see, if you look over at the skies there, you can see, oh, there we go. There we go. See them? And to be fair, the resolution I've got on, I've only got them set to medium because I didn't want to hammer my system during the Expo. With the cloud tech that they implemented with Crusader, they have implemented here on Microtech. Okay, so next step is, where is the spaceport? And oh, how about that? I managed to be facing the right way by accident. So we're going to boost our speed up just a notch, or two, or three, because I don't want to take forever to get to the spaceport. What just happened? What just happened? Why is my ship not working? Okay, that almost got horrific. The last thing I need is to have most of my current funds wiped out with the ship. Yeah, things are in a bad way lately with server lag, and hopefully they will figure this out in the really near future, because this makes life a tad more difficult than it really needed to be. The nice thing about the spaceport here is they have this nice big bright red lights, so if you're in reasonable distance, you can see them. That said, they don't really render in if you're too far away, so it helps to learn the city. Excellent, excellent. I'm getting comm communications. That means they should be asking me for request to land anytime now. Anytime now. We're going to do it through the Moby Glass because of another bug that's currently in the game. MFDs are a little tricky to use these days.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Now, hopefully, they will actually give me a landing bay. Ah, excellent, excellent. When I was flying yesterday, I asked for a landing bay. They didn't give me one, so I just snuck into an open one and just said, "Go ahead and impound me. I dare you." Trying to get myself straightened out here. And I'm going to want to level out soon. And I'm going to want to make sure that I don't, you know, bounce on the surface of the spaceport. So, you know, good times all around. Let's start dropping our landing gear. Oh, no, too far down, too far down. I want to be going down, but I don't want to be going down too fast. And I need to get a little closer and start going down. Oh, looks like I just clipped the edge. These are the things you can expect to happen if you don't use third-person view when parking. We'll use the auto land to put me in the proper positioning. And that way we set down nice, neat, exactly where I should be. All right.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Constellation Taurus. It's got decent cargo size, so you know if you're looking for a mid-range cargo vehicle that's not quite something like a Carrack or a Caterpillar, Taurus isn't a bad way to go. And you know, if you like the design of the Constellation, also a good enough reason, honestly. I kind of like them, but I have enough duplication in the ships I have that I really don't need Constellations. At least not as far as pledges go. I make no promises because, you know, eventually with in-game credits, the time will come where I have all the ships. Well, not quite all the ships. I'm sure that things like the Javelin and the Kraken will be obscenely priced in-game, but really, I can live without those. I mean, really, the Javelin's got a crew of 80. I don't even know 80 people. We're going to store the ship to make sure that no little surprise bugs happen. I know, a surprise bug from Star Citizen? How could that possibly be?
Careful watch on all personal items.
Stored. I don't know what's going on over there with somebody, but I don't care. And we're going to go to the Commons, because that's where their trade division is. Oh, right. While I'm here, because I'm back in New Babbage, I can put all the stuff I picked up and move them to the New Babbage inventory, which is working a lot better than the inventory I was dealing with elsewhere. Okay, so now all the inventory is here at New Babbage. So I basically moved them off of me and at New Babbage. And this is where they will stay, unless I physically put them in a pack or put them on a starship or what have you. Inventory kind of has multiple zones. You've got your personal inventory. You've got the local inventory, which will be basically whatever moon or planet you happen to be on. Oh, come on, get me in. Made it. Your vehicles have an inventory. And you can only access those inventories at their specific zone. So if I put stuff on board, say, the Taurus there, and then I pulled out completely at random the C2 Hercules, the stuff I left on the Taurus would not be available to the Hercules. Likewise, if I'm on New Babbage, I cannot access the stuff I left at Lorville. So there's still a lot of work to be done with the whole inventory system, but this is a big step in that direction. New Babbage is a pretty nice look at night, but I think I prefer Arc Core at night. Arc Core looks a little more awe-inspiring. Ooh, look. There's the Expo logo stuff up there. Oh, and now I'm in the subway terminal. But we will not be going to the Expo Hall. We will be going upstairs at this stop. So we can go to the trade division. Sell off all that chlorine. Hopefully for a profit. Probably a small profit. And over here is where the trade division is. Trade Development Division. Ugh. Huff puff. Get the heart rate up. And you'll see I've got the Taurus listed here with all my chlorine. I'm going to sell it off, and you know, I think I made maybe like a couple hundred credits in profit. Oh, maybe a couple thousand. Not too bad considering I was buying the cheapo stuff. I was making up in volume. So now that I've sold that stuff off, it's time to make the preparations for the second vehicle I rented for today's stream. However, the second rented vehicle is a ground vehicle. So we're going to need to do a couple preparatory actions, so to speak. Now, as it will be an armored personnel carrier, I'm clearly going to want to be ready for, shall we call it, violent action. So we're going to do a little bit of prepping here as far as equipment goes. Of course, first things first, let's get to the terminal. I don't want to be messing with my inventory when the train rolls by. No, it's not. It's right here. Probably another indicator of server health. Or maybe server unhealth would be more appropriate here. Now, for the Spartan to really shine, it needs to go up against a hostile force. So, I'm going to want to choose a ground mission, and I don't want it to be a defend mission because I want the fact that we're going into potentially hostile territory to come into play here. But the problem here is you don't find a lot of that kind of mission here at Microtech. So we're going to need to go to Lorville. Now the problem with that is I have to get over to Lorville. Or at the very least I should get around the Hurston planetary system. I say Lorville, but I'm really talking about Hurston and the moons around it. Hurston tends to have a lot of mercenary missions, so clearly that's a place I want to go. It's also marginally closer than Crusader. Okay, we'll get in the elevator, we'll get to the main spaceport, and then I'm going to start putting some stuff on the inventory that is more dangerous than what I've been wearing so far. Oh, it also occurs to me that while I stuffed everything else in my inventory, I left all the weapons I picked up on my leg and on my backpack. I'll do something about that momentarily. Bouncing off people. Undoubtedly eager to see the Expo exhibit hall. Don't blame them. A lot of cool stuff. Okay, now that we're here topside, it's time to prep up for aforementioned violent action. So I'm going to open up my inventory. I'm going to put the guns I have here away. Although I may pick them back up again depending. I also want to ditch the helmet. I don't want that particular helmet for what I'm getting ready to do. And the sidearm. I'll keep the sidearm. So we're going to go with armor. And I'm going to go with the equipment that I use for this sort of thing. The orc gear. So that's the orc helmet, the orc arms. Now I like the Iceborne stuff, but I haven't found all the Iceborne equipment shops yet, so I kind of have a mix of Iceborne, Arctic, and Singularity. But it still looks pretty cool as it is. We're going to go with weapons, of which I have plenty. Do I have a P4? P4 assault rifles are pretty common in these missions. And that means if I can get one of their... That's P6. If I can use that, then I don't have to worry about... There we go, P4 AR. It's an assault rifle. I don't use them very often, personally speaking. But I also want a backup, and that's going to be a machine gun. I've got plenty of lumens, so we're going to take the lumen machine gun as my backup supply. ammunition. We're going to go to ammo here. Let's see. P4 ARs. I've got 3 clips. We're going to equip them all. And if I have any lumens, we're going to equip all the ones I can for that. I'm not going to bother with ammo for the pistol, because if I'm at the point where I'm using the pistol, I'm probably in big trouble already and probably about to die. I would also like the game to stack my ammo clips a little more consistently. That's something that's I have an issue with. What I need is lumen ammunition, and I'm hoping that I have lumen ammunition somewhere in here. Because if I don't have any lumen ammunition, then I'm going to feel pretty stupid. Here we go. So I'll equip all those. Or at least as much as I can. For medical uses, we'll clear the filters, and we're going to go where it says medical. And I have medipens, which I'm going to equip all those. But what I'm also going to equip is one of these Paramed guns, which will hopefully allow me to deal with other painful injuries. And finally, no, I'm not taking Pico. Yes, the plushy Pico is in my inventory. Read what you will into that. Won't be under ammo? It seems strange that it would be. No, it's under ammo. And, oh my god, where did I get 45 freaking, yeah. And I'm going to put that in my backpack. Just in case. Okay. I am as equipped as I'm willing to let myself be right now. Ready for violent activity. Now, since I plan to be getting the Spartan into a combat theater, I need something that's going to be able to carry it. So I'm going to grab my C2 Hercules, which is not currently available at the rental halls because we're not on Crusader Day. Nevertheless, I'm not streaming on stream day, so I'm sorry. For a moment, I just couldn't help but notice that if I look down here, this is upside down. Oh, those crazy technicians. Okay, Hangar 8. Now, technically, I can also put a bunch more stuff into the Hercules for inventory. You can carry inventory in the ships, but I'm not going to do that. I'm pretty happy with what I'm wearing. Any other things, I'll just scavenge. So, let me do a quick update here. And go. And that should update momentarily, if it hasn't already. Excellent. The C2 Hercules is a massive cargo vessel, but in truth, its primary purpose in design is hauling vehicles. And as you can see, there are still a few bugs with it, like the fact that the hatch there didn't open up at all. It used to open up. It would still be, you know, not on time. But now it doesn't even give you the illusion of having something to lower. It just moves the platform. I have a sneaking feeling they broke it when they were designing the A2, but oh, the door still hasn't opened yet. Open up! And you'll see we have these storage units, and these basically act as the same thing as your inventory. So if I were to open it up here, personal storage, and same sort of thing. I have a vehicle storage area. I can ship that to local, and I can move anything in local into the C2. So if I wanted to, I've got 8,000K micro SCU. I know it's crazy, right? I have 8,000 micro SCU. And that's not that's not even looking at the local, which is even crazier. It's best not to try to do the math too closely. You'll just hurt your brain. At the very least, I'm hurting my brain. In any event, we're not putting anything in there. I just wanted to show that off. To show that, yes, you could do that. In fact, if I was doing a bunch of box delivery missions, that's basically what I do. I grab stuff in my backpack, then I get on board the ship and I put them in the ship inventory, so I have my backpack free again for the next location. And then when I get to my home planet, or wherever I happen to be mainly operating out of, then I unload stuff from the starship into the local inventory. That's strategery for those who aren't in the know. Now I'm pretty big fan of the design language of the Hercules vessels. No, not that. Where's my communications? I mean, the only Crusader ship that I haven't been horribly impressed by in the design is the Genesis Starliner, and technically speaking, that's still in concept, so
You are clear to launch.
things may mutate. But this thing has a massive cargo bay. The most in the game right now. Now, once they get the Hull series from MISC into the game, that eminence will change. But not yet. There's that Banu Defender there. I'm not too worried about the hydrogen fuel. Now, you can fit a number of vehicles in here. You can fit at least 2 Nova tanks in the cargo bay. So, you know it's got space, and it will be big enough to handle 1, maybe even 2 of the Atlas platform vehicles, which means a ballista and or a Spartan. Or both. However, I don't have 2 Spartans to test that with, so we will have to content ourselves with loading only the 1. Now I'm going to bring up the map, and we're going to chart a course to Hurston. I don't have to go to any specific location at Hurston because I just need to be there to access their comsats so I can access the contracts. And from there, well, then we can decide where to go. Wherever the target is, we'll go to the same general area, but first we'll stop in one of the outposts which have Platinum Bay facilities where I can pull out the ground vehicles, and that's where we'll load in the Spartan. I did put a decent quantum drive in the C2, so travel time should not be as horrific as it would be if I were in the standard vehicles. That's one of the reasons why I only have 30,000 credits right now. It will take us 239 seconds. Ballpark. That's presuming, of course, that the server doesn't decide to do something wonky to us. Which it might be, because that distance really isn't closing very quickly. Okay, now it's looking a little better. Maybe it'll get better when I get closer to Hurston, because that'll take me further away from all the Expo activities and stuff. Yes, that is me clinging to hope. Or maybe delusion. Unfortunately, they seem to have broken things a little bit with the quantum travel. It looks more like a foggy haze kind of thing right now, as opposed to the star lines and all that other stuff that give you the indicator that, yes, you're actually moving. I don't know if it's because of the Expo, server loads, something broken in the patch. Your guess is as good as mine. But you know what? If we are kind of taking our time, I can at least do a brief walkthrough here. For example, we've got escape pods and storage closets up front here. I'm not 100% sure which is which, but in the storage closet, it's really a suit closet. They just don't have suit closet stuff in the game yet. Over here, and it's kind of unusual for a civilian craft, we have a weapons rack. 2, 4, 6, 8 rifles with the equivalent on the other side. And you also might have room separate for pistols. So you can be a very, very well armed C2 Hercules. Other areas in this section are component bays, so if I were to open this up, yeah, we've got some of the ship components. I want to say that this is, well, I really don't know what it is. Is there something on the side here that might tell me what I'm looking at? I don't know if it's a cooler or a power plant or shields. And I'm not seeing anything identifiable on here, so I can't even work off that. One day, though, that's going to be a big deal because damage will start being shown there and you'll need to repair it physically. Oops. It sounds like we're approaching destination. Open sesame. Even though it doesn't look like I'm approaching the freaking destination. Oh, I think I do see Hurston slowly getting brighter. Okay, next step. We're going to look at our mission contracts and see what we've got. Our goal is ground assault. So, quantum drive's kicking itself back on. Off. Hate that. Mercenary is usually the way to go, and oh, come on. Really? This is all they've got? This is all they've got. I've come all this way to Hurston, and the best you can give me are these? Oh, I am disappointed. I am bitterly, bitterly disappointed. I'll tell you what, while we're waiting, we'll go to one of the locations on Hurston and we'll load up the Spartan. Maybe by then we'll actually have something. HDMS Stanhope. That feels like a great location. Yeah, Stanhope. We'll go there. It even looks like it's kind of daylight. Let's hope it stays daylight. Of course, with my luck, I'll wind up at a mining facility that does not have a Platinum Bay facility, which would be bad because I need a Platinum Bay facility to spawn the vehicle. Reset that. Kill the quantum. And I've basically got a lot of brown nothing in front of me. Let's see. Not sure what view to have when I'm landing here because the Herc landing gear is pretty far back. That is a nice look though. This is kind of a shot that you could see off of those airline commercials. You know, the sun there flying in the kind of cloud cover. You cannot deny that Star Citizen is one of the more attractive games out there. Even if some of the areas are less than attractive, like Hurston. Let's see, we are a little over 7.5 kilometers up. Distance, 15 kilometers. We'll bump our speed up a bit, even though I'll probably be sorry later, because slowing down a beast this big can get a little rough. Turn on the spotlights, just in case that'll help. Okay, looks like I'm about to dive through some cloud cover here. There we go. The clouds in Hurston are not as impressive as the clouds at Microtech or Crusader. But you can be sure that at some point, they'll get there. Okay, 1.5 kilometers up. I can see everything there. I'm going to turn off the cruise control because at this point I'm going to want a little more precision with my controls. I am conveniently aimed at the large landing pad. I like that. Drop the landing gear, turn on the VTOLs. And they do have Platinum Bay, which is good. So this is going to work out really nicely. A little further up, a little further up, a little further up. And down. And that's about as good a landing as I could ask for. So open everything up here and we're going to head on out. And we're not going to go out through the elevator. I mean, I'm going to use the elevator to get myself down to the lower deck. That's mostly because, you know, I have to. Oh, I guess I could use the ladder too. Ladder's been kind of strange lately though, so I don't know if I trust it. Well, this is the C2 hangar cargo deck, and as you can see, it's pretty big. Very spacious. But in proper perspective here, big. We're going to lower the front ramp. Actually, sorry, the back ramp. Ugh, getting my directions screwed up there. But I want the back ramp here because that's the area that's facing Platinum Bay. It's almost like I planned it this way. Okay, this is a problem. You see, theoretically, The ramp is supposed to be flush with the ground here? Okay, that's a little serious. I don't know what the heck happened. I'm landed flat, so, you know, it can't be... So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the front door, too. Maybe it'll kick the back enough that the thing will be flush. There we go. Maybe. If I can't get in the back way, I'll get in the front. One way or the other, I'm a getting in. Don't know what the heck the deal is here. There won't be any loot boxes in here. Well, let me rephrase that. There's probably not going to be any loot boxes in here. It exists for one purpose, pulling out ground vehicles. And thus, we are going to pull out the Anvil Spartan. Now the problem here is, it's back at New Babbage, so I have to claim it. Luckily, ground vehicles have a very fast delivery time. And I'm just going to sit here and wait. I'm not even going to bother expediting it because I want to take another look at contracts and see if anything else has come up. Security contractor reevaluation. This feels like a win to me. Unfortunately, it sounds like it's going to be... Oh, okay. This feels like a defend mission. You know what? I don't care. We're going to do it this way. Now, there are some hazards here. If I get killed, I'm going to spawn all the way back at Microtech. Well, you know, that's a new objective. Don't harm allies. Yeah, thanks. And it's actually a reasonable problem, too, because the first time I did this mission, I might have accidentally hosed a security guard and immediately got criminal status. And yet, I was still able to finish the mission and get paid. That was a bug. They fixed that in this last patch. As a result, it would behoove me to not spray weapons fire willy-nilly. Whoa, knocked down. Okay, let's go up the front end here. We've got two side entrances and a rear entrance. So if you happen to be having a full load of Marines back here, they could deploy from the back or to either side. Where's the door? There we are. Driver's seat does have a door, so if you happen to be deploying from the rear, people shooting at the people coming out will not accidentally murder the pilot, theoretically. There are some guns on board. The turret up there are a pair of Scorpion ballistics.
Anvil Aerospace. All systems online.
Enough to give some covering fire, but not huge amounts. Alright, how do we want to do this? I might just have to do it the front load. I don't know if I have enough room to... Ow, what am I stuck on? Well, this may have gotten entertaining really quickly here. Let's see if I can get free of this. Okay, someone stuck a light post or something here, which is inconvenient. That's right. The mighty armored transport vehicle has been stymied by a light post. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Star Citizen. Okay, we're going to try to back in here, which is got the potential to be interesting. And I don't mean the good kind. Okay, straighten out, straighten out. Oh, perfect, perfect. Up the ramp. And and stop. We are ready to deploy. Let me just kind of change my angle a little bit. I can actually scoot this up a little further. Perfect. Open sesame. Door panel back open. And I don't know if there's a door panel to close it from the outside, so I'm just going to run out. And as you can see, we've got plenty of room back here. We probably can handle a second Spartan in this vehicle. So C2, it got space. Going around the other side here because I think the switch is over here. Nope, I'm wrong. I is not smart. And the front is really fun to watch because it's got the folding section too, so the ramp will load up first. And then you can see the sides there kind of closing there. I like the way they do that. Alright then, we have the tools. We have the technology. Now it's time to deploy. Top deck, please. So what we're going to do is we're going to land within a certain range of HDSF Millerand, and then we're going to deploy the APC, and we'll drive in. Even though there's not going to be defensive fire coming in from the enemy turrets, because technically speaking, it sounds like a defend mission, so there's not going to be enemy turrets. All the same, I'm going to treat it as if it were. And once we deploy, we will change my currently flying to a... I'm currently flying a ground vehicle. I realize that makes no logical sense, but logic is overrated. Hurston has a relatively thinner atmosphere than some of the other planets. It only ends at 9 kilometers as opposed to 11. So getting high enough to engage quantum will not be difficult. The facility that we're attacking is on Hurston proper, and is actually not horribly far away, comparatively speaking. I mean, I'd never be able to drive that whole distance because it's a long way. It actually looks like it's not too far from the pole. Either that or it's just a really wild coincidence that it looks like a pole. I mean, take a look at this thing. It feels like it's a pole. Of course, it's also possible that this won't work because, you know, there have been issues with the quantum drives, and I might have to go to an orbital marker first and then go down. It's a bug. It's a relatively new bug. It's a pain in the hind end bug, but it is still a bug. But if I'm really lucky, maybe we'll be okay. Maybe it'll work right the first time. And maybe Star Citizen will be releasing next year. Spoiler alert. It's not. And quantum drive is not working. Let's go. Let's break alignment and realign and see if that works any better, but I'm kind of suspecting that we're going to end up with the go to orbital marker first problem. Yep, orbital marker first. Ladies and gentlemen, Star Citizen. So step 1 is locate orbital marker. Orbital marker 1, very convenient. The North Pole.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum Quantum travel complete.
Set route. Aim towards destination, and maybe this time it will zap me in the right direction. There we go.
Quantum travel engaged.
And if we're really lucky, it'll still be daylight side, which will make life a lot easier, because trying to drive in darkness, let's not dwell on driving in the dark. Excellent, excellent.
Quantum travel complete.
So we're going to get a little closer. I'd like to get within 5 kilometers, but the closer the better. But really it's going to come down to what area of flat land can I locate, because the flatter the land, the less mountainous the land, the better odds I'm going to have of being able to get the APC to its destination without any horrible little surprises. And believe me, horrible surprises can happen. Plus, of course, I need to find an area that's large enough to accommodate a landing C2 Hercules. This is not necessarily as simple or as easy as it sounds. Drop speed a little bit. Does look promising. I can see the flashing lights, which is good. I like to get past this minor mountain range area here first. It looks minor, but it's probably a lot bigger because, yeah. You have to keep in mind that what you see from the sky, it usually looks smaller than it actually is. Turn off the headlights, they're not helping after all. Okay, I'm going to try to land over here. Hard to see. I can't really tell if I'm going to land flat or not. And it looks like it's windy outside too, which is, you know, always great fun. I'm not in love. It may be good enough though. I'm going to open the exterior entirely. As soon as I figure out which of my many, many switches will do it. And whichever ramp is the most rational, and it's looking like it's going to be the back ramp because it looks like my front ramp is cutting through a rock. But the back ramp is even worse. You know what? Take off. Move forward. Set down. This is not an improvement. Okay, well, you know, looking at the terrain around, I am hard-pressed to find a location that's going to do better. It's all pretty rocky, it's all pretty clumpy. Is clumpy a word? Oh, and I'm not setting down properly. Ah! Not good. Not good. Level out. Level out. Oh, no wonder I'm trying to flip terrain. This may be as good as we're going to get. Where's the front ramp? Yeah, that's as good as we're going to get. Let's hope that things stay put here. Otherwise, it's going to be a miserable return trip. And now it's time. Time for deployment. Oh, we're going to go down the ladder here. It's easier to go down than it is to go up, so worst comes to worst, I'll fall, and oh darn, I'm down anyway. Open the hatch. Oops. Don't want to get scrunched. Close it up. And into the driver's seat. Time for deployment. We're going to go into third-person view so we can get a general idea of what we're doing. Plus, it helps that I can actually see the blinking marker of our destination. We are moving at approximately 34 meters a second. If I understand correctly. There's no display that's telling me that on here. But I read that somewhere, and I'm inclined to believe it. Oops. Yeah. Trees can take you down. Never mind the fact that you're driving an incredibly massive, heavy engine of transport destruction here. A tree will still stop you dead, no matter how thin it is. As you can see, we've got weapon systems here. It only fires forward if you're doing the driving here, but you can stop and enter the remote turret and have a 360-degree field of fire. It is using ballistic ammo, which means once if you use it, you lose it. Be aware. On the left. Being based on a ballista, it does have a pretty good rugged nature. It can take hits, although it's not perfect. And here we go. Continuing on our drive forward. Oops, flipped something. And I'm facing the wrong way and I'm stuck on a tree. We're gonna have to take the long way around on this set of rocks. Am I still facing the right way? Yes, I am. Not all planets are as rough as this one, but it's pretty up there. I can still see blinky light in the distance. Now, theoretically, the armor on this will be strong enough to handle small arms fire, so it'll make a decent shield. Oh, and I think I see the building. Yes, we are coming up to the target. Yes, coming in from the back end. You can see the turrets out there. I don't know if they would be active against me if I flew in. I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure this is a defend mission. And if it's a defend mission, then they should not be firing at me. unless I, you know, aggro the place by accidentally killing people. Okay, you know what? Stop here.
All systems offline.
Deployment time. Weapon check. Naturally, it's not loaded. There we go. Weapon check. Other weapon is loaded. I'm going to carry lowered. And deploy. Go, go, go! Oh, I can even hear weapons fire already. The festivities have started without me. Now, I believe there are... you know, I could have sworn there was weapon fire mode on this thing, but maybe not. Oh, there we are. There's 3 weapons modes here. Basically, free fire, short burst, or single shot. I'm going to go with short bursts because I don't want to accidentally kill security guards. Like I did the last time I did one of these missions. Now the key is to be able to identify who is a security guard and who's a bad guy. I can hear weapons fire, but I don't see any targets yet. Okay, I think that's got Hurston security guy. He's wearing black and gold. Don't shoot Hurston security, no matter how much I might want to. And believe me, I want to. I have a long-standing grudge against Hurston security. Oddly, it seems that the bottom floor is kind of clear, but don't take it as a given because they have these spawn closets where doors will open and bad people will come out. There's fire going above me. That's not good. I need to get upstairs. Of course, going upstairs has its own dangers. Hi there! Short bursts. I see movement, but I can't... No, he's Hurston security. Don't want to shoot him. Hurston security is one of the good guys. That guy, on the other hand, is one of the bad guys. I see another guy over here. Relax, buddy. I'm not shooting you. That's the whole point of me using the short bursts, so I don't accidentally kill you off. And believe me, you have no idea how hard that is. Because I'm a big, big hater of Hurston security. Oh, hi there. Oh, look, see, one of the spawn closets opened up, so it disgorged a bunch of bad guys. Oh, hi there. 4 to go. Make sure he falls down. I can hear fire. Someone's shooting somebody. Oh, hi. 2 to go. This is going a lot better than my initial run. Unfortunately, I'm beginning to get the suspicion that all the security guards are dead. Oh, nope, there's a guy who ran in here. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Ah, there you are. Hi! Nuts. Let's make sure he's dead. One to go. One more target. Now keep in mind, the last guy can kill you just as badly as the first. Plus, you know, I have heard reports of bugs up. No, that's Person Security. Don't shoot him. Somewhere, there is a final guy who is waiting to kill anybody he encounters. Just because I'm paranoid, checking the elevator area. Just in case, you know, somebody decided to roll back here and kind of go up through the back end, so to speak. But I'm not seeing anybody appearing down here, so I might have to go upstairs again. Once I, you know, locate said stairs. It's really taking a lot of effort for me to avoid trying to kill off Hurston. Did I hear something? I feel like I'm hearing things. That could just be my paranoia talking. Come on, you bad guy. I know you're lying around here somewhere. If I were a scum-sucking vermin who like to pirate places, where would I hide? At this point, I might as well start checking around for loot stuff, because I'm beginning to think that this might be bugged. There are reports of people who have been unable to complete these missions because spawn closets wouldn't open up, for example. But I've been running around through here, and nobody has taken a pot shot at me, and I haven't seen anybody moving around who isn't wearing Hurston security armor. And that leads me to believe that maybe, just maybe, all the bad guys that I'm going to be able to kill are dead. And the one guy who's left has decided, you know what, I'm just going to leave the door closed and wait till everybody goes away. Which, when you think about it, is probably one of the more intelligent moves they can do. So at this point, my interest is going to be more in finding loot crates. I mean, I guess I could loot these guys' armor, and, well, you know what, I could do that. One of the things you can do is you can loot bodies, including security guards. But if you grab a security guard, odds are you're going to be scanned at some point, and you're going to have your loot taken. Well, you're going to be considered a criminal. Ah, okay, you know what? Let's go to where it says loot. And so he's got one of the undersuits, his armor. I'm more interested in his ammo clips, though. Okay, I'll grab the helmet too. The helmet looks cool. I'm already pretty well packed on the pack. Yikes, what the heck did I decide to carry? Don't really care about the rest of the stuff, so, you know, having the helmet off is enough to tell me that I've looted him. Ordinarily, I'd grab the C-54, but I've got enough of those. Can I grab the ammunition off of it? I thought I heard something about people being able to loot the ammo clips only. I can. It requires a little bit of doing, but you can do it. And drop the gun. I don't need it anymore. I keep hearing stuff, and I keep wanting to shoot it. I know there's still a hostile that's unaccounted for. And that's the kind of thing that, you know, is a little worrisome. Looting stuff is great, but you gotta be alive to use it. Ravager shotgun does me no good. No, that's security guard. Another shotgun. I am not finding a whole lot in the way of loot crates. Which is to say, I'm not finding any loot crates. Which is disappointing because, you know, that's one of the primary attractions of doing these ground missions. That you might be able to find some of the more rare and intriguing bits of equipment. But, you know, you gotta find the loot crates so you can get the rare and intriguing equipment. Hey, is that a loot crate? No, it's not. It looks like it could be, but it's not. With my luck, the loot crate's with the last hostile. That last hostile is definitely staying far away. Okay, let's go downstairs. See if we can find anything on the lower area. Hey, that looks like a loot crate. Is it? It is! Let's see what they got. Oh, they've got an arc light pistol. Yay. A scope. Well, you know, a scope could be useful. Man, I heard that walking there and I went into just cold sweats there. Arc light ammo? Well, hey, it's ammo. With the guns, I've got plenty of lumens and I don't need arc light pistols, so. And we're running the same loot problem I was at the outpost where I can move stuff and it's not sticking around. Good. Sheesh. The things you do to get this stuff to work. Yeah, don't mind me pointing the gun at you. It's just a habit, really. I mean, I'm just used to, you know, wanting to kill Hurston security, so I just automatically have to struggle with not pulling the trigger. And that might be the only loot crate in here, which would really suck. Is it a loot crate? I think there's a loot crate. It's a loot crate. What's inside? A helmet! A green helmet. Which I probably don't have room to store, but I'm going to try. Ah! Doesn't have enough room. Okay, let's do a little bit of creative shuffling here. You know, I really expected the backpack to give me more space to work. Just enough. Except this is still listed here, but this is saying brother. Okay, good. It took. We're getting inventory lag, which is a statement I never thought I'd have to say. Is that another one? No, that was too much to hope for. 2 loot crates. Nothing great, but you know, it's something. I already tagged that one. And I think that's all we're going to find. And with a missing hostile that refuses to spawn in, I think this mission is going to be officially a bust. Which is something I find annoying to no end. But this is Star Citizen. Still on alpha. And that means you have to expect bugs to happen. And boy, are we having bugs. He's got a couple, ooh, P4 AR clips. I can use these. And now I've got 60 extra shots again. I really want to loot this guy. I'm sorry, it's just a long-standing dislike of Hurston security. They scan me and drive me nuts on a regular basis, and I just can't help but feel the urge to do horrible things to them. I don't really feel the need to grab the ammo and the helmets. Well, the helmets I don't need. The armor I don't need. But ammunition, yeah, I'm willing to check their ammo and claim the ammunition. Ooh, P4 ARs. Awesome. What they really need in the game is the ability to auto-stack equipment. So if you have clips and you drag them on, it should automatically stack them into anything like themselves. That's just for future reference, devs. I think a lot of your player base would thank you muchly for it. Okay, that doesn't want to stack. Well, fine, I don't care. For a minute there, I thought I saw the distinctive armor of the enemy. I was wrong. lot of shotgun ammo, that's for sure. Okay, we're going to do one more pass around here, and then we're going to head on out, because there is no point in sticking around if the last hostile will not spawn. And despite any desires I might have to the contrary, I am not killing that last Herson security guard. No matter how much he provokes me simply by existing. Okay, I think the upstairs is about as clean as it probably can be. Hi, Herson security guard. Must not pull trigger. Like I said, I carry some grudges. Okay, well, you know what, buddy? It's all on you now. Even though that you're claiming all the hostiles are not dead, I see no other hostiles. So I'm going to consider my reward the ammo and helmets I got along the way. Good news is it's daylight out still. In fact, it's even brighter out than it was before, so we must have hit the sunrise area. So we're going to drive back to the C2 and hope that I can get the Spartan on board. Power on. Thank you. Oops, let's not slam into the structure here. Oh, I'm gonna hit that pole too. Looks like I gotta be a little more delicate in pulling out of here. Okay, somewhat to the right of my location, so we'll go around this way. Hang a right. Oh, spin around because I vaulted something. And I can even see, yes, I'm pretty sure I can see the Hercules from here. That's good because it's always good to have a visual reference. The hard part is going to be arrival. Because as you can see, we still have all these rocks in the way, and unlike my trip in, I am going against the flow. But hey, the Spartan is supposed to be able to handle this sort of thing, so let's make it prove it. Nice straightaway here. And steep drop. So far, so good. Ordinarily, I would be tempted to unload my inventory into the Spartan, but A, it's a rented vehicle, and I'd hate to accidentally leave something behind here when I wasn't paying attention. But more importantly, if I should accidentally blow this thing up en route, I'd kind of like not to lose everything. Oh, this is going to be a rough area. Well, we navigated it pretty well, didn't we? Now, I feel compelled to mention, I've mentioned the guns before. These are anti-personnel guns. Don't try to shoot down a ship with them. It won't work very well. Okay, we're in spitting distance of the ship. I should be able to get it to the ramp, I hope. Trying to work my way there without, you know, getting stuck on a rock. The front ramp is definitely not going to cut it there. I mean, oh my god, it's jumping around. The back ramp may have to be it. Oh, the back ramp. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Well, you know what? I don't care. This is a rental vehicle, right? So my emotional attachment to the rental vehicle is not great. So leaving it behind on this planet doesn't psychologically bother me. If I can get into the elevator, everything will be all right. Of course, now we run into the question of, can I get into the elevator? Okay, this may still be doable. There's a rock here. I might be able to jump in. Ah! Awesome! Now, maybe I can even find a place that's more flat and I can get the Spartan on board. I mean, I feel a little guilty. Just a tiny bit guilty about leaving the Spartan here. But given the choice between abandoning the Spartan or getting out clean, I think I'll take the getting out clean part. Engines on. Let's kind of straighten ourselves out a little bit here. Move forward a little bit. See if I can land cleaner. The problem is you have all this dust that's flying around, so it's hard to tell. Oh, I'm spinning around. Nope, forget it. Too bad, Spartan. I'm afraid it was not meant to be. So it's time to get ourselves back to friendlier climates. And in this case, friendlier climate means Everest Harbor. It's a pity that we couldn't get the security contractor reevaluation done. That last hostile just would not go away. Frustrating, but what can you do? What can you do? Start spooling up the quantum drive now. Get a jump on the atmospheric conditions, so to speak. Okay. Orbital marker. Check. I think the Spartan's going to be very handy for those larger scale engagements. The problem is that we really don't have a lot in the way of larger scale engagements in the game yet, but it's not too hard to set something up. I know there's a couple organizations out there who like to do 25 versus 25 engagements amongst themselves. And that, it certainly feels like the APC is suits them to a T. So there's definitely a place for the Spartan in Star Citizen. And hopefully as the game continues its development, that place will become more pronounced. Now I know there's some people who've complained about the size of the thing, that, oh no, I'm sorry, not Cryptic, that's not mixed developers here. CIG has put out basically a duplicate kind of vessel that can only be carried by really expensive vessels. Well, you know what? Big deal. Ursa rovers are a lot less expensive, can be bought in-game, and can carry 4 people. So, you don't like it? Get 2 Ursas. Not all vehicles are for all people. I'm never going to have a Javelin. I mean, oh, for heaven's sake. I don't need an 80 crew capital ship. I just don't. Nor do I need a Polaris or any of those other really huge vessels. Oh, the ramps are still open. That's probably because I broke the front ramp with my fumbling attempts. Can't be helped. Can't be helped. Let's get a landing hangar. Should be one of those 3 in front of me.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
And it's going to be on the one on the left. I'm really not choosy. I'm just trying to get my altitude up a bit. Relative altitude. So I'm coming more forward into it. Because I'm pretty sure I'm looking at the bottom of the thing and not the top. Now there was a bug where you'd have trouble doing some repairs at certain locations, and I can't remember if Everest was one of them. I'll find that out quickly enough. But we are now on approach. And we're going to start slowing it down a little bit because I don't want to splat against the opposite side. Collision alert, which is always great to see. Drop landing gear. Activate VTOL. Pray I'm not clipping the sides. See if the auto land will cooperate. Yeah, here we go. And let's see if I can do repairs. I can. And we'll refuel too. Oh, this is going to be expensive. Forget the hydrogen. Forget the quantum. We'll do just repairs. The time's going to come where that's not going to be very expensive at all for me, but after the wipe, I still haven't recouped all my spent funding. So right now, repair is the way to go here. Let's turn around. Landing. Cargo ramp is still down. Let's see if I can close it up now. That's the open. Now let me see the close. We're still broken there. Which means, well, claims is repaired. So if it's repaired, why the heck is my ramp not closing?
Engines off.
Let's go down in person. We'll take the ladder down. There's the ramp. Now we are supposedly repaired. Well, what can you do? If it's busted, it's busted. Maybe when I store it and call it back up, maybe it'll come back. Maybe. Elevator. Because I hit the button repeatedly, hoping that'll make it go faster. Just like real life. And that, I think, is going to do it for this afternoon. We are about 45 minutes later than I usually wrap things up. No big deal. That's not a problem here. I often say that my end times are flexible. Because, you know, if I'm in the middle of something, it feels unfair to stop in the middle of it saying, okay, we're done. Just wouldn't be fair. But now we're at what I would consider a pretty good stopping point, so once we store the ship, that'll be that. So, we got to check out the Expo, got to see the RSI and Anvil hallways, well, exhibit halls, and see the stuff. We rented the Taurus and did a cargo load on that to see just how much we could carry. We monkeyed with the Anvil Spartan and engaged in a ground assault, which, as you can see, didn't end quite as well as I would have liked, since one guy just refuses to show up. The coward. Now, I was not 100% sure as of last time, but now I can say for certain that I will again be streaming Star Citizen next Saturday at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern to approximately 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. The Expo will still be going on. It will be MISC Day, as well as another manufacturer who will remain nameless. So we will be taking a look at those various starships, and I will probably be talking a lot of trash towards that unnamed manufacturer, because that's how I roll. I have no regrets. So, getting ready to head out. If you also, let me just add this. If you have an interest in Star Trek Online, I do streams on that on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern to approximately 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, whether you are watching it live, or on YouTube, or on Twitch as the video on demand stuff. Thank you all for joining me. This is Korath Landwalker, signing off.